You don't have to be a Latino to have a Latino holiday. And today I'm going to take you in this unbelievable gastronomic journey towards the very end of the year a la Latino way. Stay tuned because this show starts right now. Welcome back. I'm Dr. Mario, your show host here at Health, Spice, and Life HSL show. And today I am so excited because we're doing a gastronomic journey, or a food journey, if you will. And who doesn't love that? And you know what? You don't have to be Latino. I've said this so many times here at the show. This show is for everybody who has that affinity, affiliation, liking for the Latino world, but also obviously all the almost billion people that are from that Latino heritage. The end of the year and the holidays, Christmas and so on, the New Year celebration, it's a big deal for all cultures. That's a given. But Latinos, we know that we have that spice that makes us different. And obviously that comes through in our food. So if you have never had the opportunity to enjoy some of that Latino flair in the kitchen, today I'm going to take you through a bit of a journey on some of the top 5 foods in the Latino world that are part of the festivities, the celebration that makes this Latino celebration so important and so valuable to us. And you know, you would have to agree with me, this year has been a tough year. And because of that, even more reason to be able to celebrate, even if it's just with a few of our family members. In fact, I will not be able to be with my family this year as I had planned because of all the different travel restrictions that we're experiencing across the world. So I will have some of these dishes in my home so that I can connect at least with those roots, and I want to share that with your home today. So the first thing that I want to say is, there's the number 1 in this list is lechon asado. And lechon is another word for saying pork or pig or roasted pig in English. And this is actually a hugely traditional dish, not only for people that live in the Caribbean, but also across the Latin American world. And it is really special because it's something that takes a lot of preparation. The spices that go into it are absolutely unique. Different countries, they have different ways of preparing it, but something is just essential to the Latino cooking and experience of the year, which is having this roasted pig or lechon. And there are different parts of the pig that are liked by some people, some others are not as liked, but the fact of the matter is almost everybody likes something about the lechon, which is just awesome. It's a very hearty meal, it's very heavy for many people, but it's because the flavors that are there makes it just so traditional, if you will, so essential as a main staple of that festivity. And when you actually put lechon in your platter, well, there's some of the things that you actually have to put in there too. And depending on where you are in Latin America, some people will like tamales. And tamales are prepared base of corn, and they put different things inside of them, whether it's cheeses or whether it's vegetables. In some cases they can put pork, maybe it could be chicken, maybe beef. And this could be very different depending on country to country. In some of the countries, we use something that's called pasteles. Like in the case of the Caribbean, in Puerto Rico, for example, pastel could also mean a cake. In this case, we don't mean it like that. And the main ingredient there is going to be plantain, and they also get stuffed. So imagine already having your lechon asado, your roasted pig, and then having a tamal on the side, or maybe having a pastel. But it doesn't end there. Now, of course, we have to put the sweeter side of the dishes, if you will, and you start to transition into the desserts. And something that is incredibly traditional in Latino cuisine is arroz con leche. And arroz con leche is a rice pudding, and it's something that is incredibly popular. It's a traditional dish. And I say that word, and immediately I'm just going back to my childhood and thinking of my grandmother, particularly on the mother's side, making this rice pudding dish, putting the cinnamon on top of that, and just the sweetness of it, just combining with the saltiness of the food that we just had before, whether it's talking about the pig or maybe having the pasteles, is absolutely delicious. And then we continue to walk along that top 5, and then we end up in the bunuelos. And the bunuelos is actually a fritter type of dish. And depending where in Latin America you're having the bunuelos, perhaps they are flat, like it's the case of Mexico, or maybe you go to Colombia and they are going to be roundish. So the shapes of them will depend on where are you, but the fact of the matter is, it's just this delicious, rich side dish that you can actually use with your pig, or maybe the rice that you put with the pig, or like I said before, the tamales or the pasteles. And then we continue to move in this gastronomic journey, and we move into the drink portion of it. And one particular one that is very dear to Latin American cultures is coquito. Coquito is actually like saying small coconut. And it is because the base for that is actually coconut milk. And this would be something similar, if you will, if you were to think about something different. Here in the United States, for example, would be the eggnog. But instead of the base of it is not going to be milk, the traditional milk or dairy milk, but it's going to be coconut milk. And it's incredibly rich. And there's another kicker to that, which is that we use rum to make it up a little more interesting. And we look forward so much to having that coquito as kind of like the end of these traditional meals. And the really beautiful thing about Latin American traditions is that depending where you are in the world, you will see that there's going to be different angles and different interpretations to these particular dishes and drinks. But the basis of all of this is the sharing, is the coming together, is the unity, is just being in that festive sort of environment. And while I recognize that this year is going to be different from other years that we've had because of the obvious and having the situation of coronavirus, the central message in the Latino cultures that I'm sharing with you here at HSL today is the aspect of sharing, is the aspect of coming together, is the aspect of perhaps spicing up a little bit your celebrations. As I like to say in the end of every single show, from my heart to your heart, I am Dr. Mario saying, a tu salud. May your festivities be absolutely grand. See you next time.